then we welcome Satu, Mikko, and Jussi. And the team for this is the Forest Service Market of Kvarken.
So it's good if you quickly like introduce yourself and what you are like a daily what is on your table as a daily routine. So what is your angle to this topic?
So my name is Satu Aguilar. I feel like at home here because I'm a Finn working in Sweden. So it's been really nice to listen to your discussions. But I work at Norra Skog as a member, strategist, or a project leader, project manager, you could say, on various topics. I've worked a lot with forest policy issues before, but now I work mainly with projects. I, for example, lead a big water project that focuses on capacity building when it comes to taking care of water in forests. But I can say a little bit of Norra Skog also, because I think it may not be something that Finns know so well. I hope all Swedes here know what Norra Skog is. But Norra Skog is a forest owner cooperative. We have 27,000 members, forest owners, private forest owners, also some municipalities and so forth. We cover half Sweden. It's a huge area for us, and we recently last year merged with another forest owner association. So we're still in the starting phase of this new organization. So basically, we're very much like what Metsäliitto is in Finland, but we're in Sweden. They're just more geographically divided. We own 3 sawmills, so we also have our own industry, and then we also own. We have a connection to Metsäliitto because we own 30% of their pulp factory in Husum near Örnsköldsvik.
Very nice you are with us. So Mikko, could you next tell something about yourself and what you are doing?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Mikko Syri, and I work for the Central Union of Farmers and Forest Owners in Finland. But I'm located in Ostrobothnia in Seinäjoki, and what I do for forest owners, first of all, it's a very wide range of different kind of jobs, including not only forest issues but also water issues, land use issues, and that kind of things. But yeah, that's basically in short what I do. I have on my area there are seven different forest owners associations, which are like the very basis of the forest owners associations. There are some of those associations are larger, like a county level, but some are very small, like municipality size of one village size of association. So it's very different in that matter. But yes, that's basically my job.
Thank you. Happy to have you here. And then Jussi Somerpalo.
Hello everyone. My name is Jussi Somerpalo, and I work as an expert in Finnish Forest Center in corporate services, and I've been working here for, let's say, 20 years now, even 21, I guess, mainly with different projects and customer management things. And nowadays well, my duties include also some kind of analysis of the possibilities in entrepreneurship in forestry sector, and also how we develop our services which are offered to our company customers or clients. We have forest owners, but in corporate services we work mostly with companies or enterprises and entrepreneurs. So that's shortly. And I must say that I don't know the situation in Ostrobothnia very well, because I'm situated and I live here in southwestern Finland in Salo, and I work in whole Finland, but still those local conditions, maybe Mikko knows better how the situation is in Ostrobothnia, so I will speak more like the whole country situation, just you to know.
Thank you. But I think that during your 21-year career, you have a couple of times also visited Ostrobothnia. So.
Yeah, of course, I have excited. Yeah, been other places too.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I think we have a lot of competence, a lot of experience to reflect the findings of the project, and also some questions that were like posted beforehand. So was it Elias? Was it so that those questions are in the next slide? So okay. So from your perspective, how you see the market, the service market right now, and can you identify the gaps and missing services? This is probably something you are thinking more or less all the time, but how you see the things now? Maybe can you Satu first?
Sure. Yeah. I sent my slides to Elias, so he was kind enough to to present those. From my perspective, how do I perceive the forest-related service market? Of course, I talk from the point of view of Norra Skog. Of course, I see what other actors are doing in the market, but I think I know my own organization best. But at the moment, I feel like the information and the services and education or training opportunities that those are available for both totally new forest owners who may know almost nothing about forestry, but also we have training opportunities and different kinds of services for more experienced ones who may even do some of the forestry measures themselves. For example, training on chainsaw usage and safety issues and so forth. And we have a big focus on education. We have like an educational portal nowadays. It's partly digital, partly face-to-face, depending on the courses that you want to take. Some of them are totally free, and some of them cost something. And they have become very popular. So there is definitely a need for different kinds of educational opportunities on various topics. I mentioned that I work on this water project. So we're, for example, planning on doing a digital training on what can a forest owner do in his or her forest to for example, take better care of buffer zones. And that will be partly linked to then visiting sites in real life. Personal contacts, they are very important, even if we live in this digital world, and during the pandemic almost only in the digital world. These personal contacts, they are really important, and I don't know if there is a big difference between different generations. It just may depend on what kind of communication channels you're using, but having this like a personal contact that you trust your forest advisor, that he or she knows what they're doing. That's really important. Digitalization, I think even before the pandemic, but even during the pandemic, a lot has happened, and I think our members, forest owners, they have taken a big leap in using those services that maybe many of them were not at all comfortable with. For example, like a e-signature that you don't need to sign on a paper, you do it digitally. These kind of things that that can be totally new for many of our members. Shall I also talk about the future needs now, or do I let the other panelists?
Let's give the floor to the other panelists first. So Mikko.
Yes, thank you. I don't have any presentation for you at the moment, but yes, a lot of same thoughts that Satu had. I think the service market is very traditional at the moment, and it's like Elias said, it's very timber orientated, and I think a lot of forest owners don't see the possibilities, the new possibilities, and especially the economic possibilities to these new type of services, and I think forest owners do see the values and they value all kind of different aspects of forest very high. That they do have the value aspect on for example recreational values and things like that, but they don't see the economic value on those aspects, and I think that's a lack at the moment, that those markets don't function at the moment well enough, I think, and the average forest owner is about 60 years old. So, but at the same time, there's very different kind of forest owners. So you can't really say that the forest owners want this or they want that. It's very wide range of needs that forest owners want. So it's very wide range of values and needs, and there was a lot of good information. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate the webinar yesterday, but I'm sure there was a lot of good talk yesterday also. But there were very good presentations today. Pauliina Enoksson said that competence to order services. I think this is one of the key issues in this matter. I think a lot of forest owners are kind of they think that they don't know enough to order services or to know what they want. There's a lot of information available, but still the forest owners kind of I think they need more ensuring that what is the final outcome of the services and what they really want. They are uncertain about the service that what that holds for them. So I think that's one of the issues at the moment. And in that matter, I think the personal relationship with the forest owner and forest professional in this matter is very critical, very important, and that should be enhanced. I think that's the main thoughts that I had.
Thank you, Mikko. I think that's true in many fields of life. That difficult to know what you want. But Jussi, would you like to reflect this question?
Yep. Well, I would say that we had this a larger project a couple of years ago where we kind of tried to find what are the needs of the entrepreneurs and how they see the future and the services, and we offered education to entrepreneurs, and I reflect my answer a little bit to that project and the outcomes of the project. But I see that there is a growing potential for different type of forest services, as we have heard yesterday and today, and as Mikko and Satu said here. And also for there's a possibility for new forest service entrepreneurs to enter the market. But in my opinion, at the moment, the market is still quite centralized. But the situation is slowly changing, and new enterprises enter the market all the time. And we see that in our work in Forest Center with in corporate services, that we get into contact with the new enterprises all the time. They have different business ideas and service ideas. But maybe at the moment there are these bigger forest enterprises and also forestry management associations that I guess still rules the market. But some drivers I've put here, which I see that emphasize the need of the forest services and the new enterprises. That if and when the high demand for forest raw material, as it is at the moment, and felling stay at high rate, so this creates demand and need for traditional silvicultural services as reforestation and tending of young stands, cleanings, and so on. And I see, or I think that as we hear this week here in Finland, that the fellings they will remain at high rate also next year and near future. So this scenario will go on as it is at the moment. Aging of forest owners is one big driver. At the moment, the average is 62 years, and almost half of the forest owners are senior citizens. And this comes from the Forest Owner 2020 study. So they are not able or willing to do the silvicultural works in their own forest, and their economic situation is quite good. So and they are ready to buy services. And then third driver could be growing number of distance forest owners, which is due to urbanization. People move from countryside to cities, and they are not near the forests they own, and this creates possibilities for forest service enterprises. And then some gaps, or you could turn it into possibilities for entrepreneurs. We've heard in earlier presentations that forest owners are not a homogeneous group. They have multi-purpose or multi-purpose forest owners is the biggest group in this study I mentioned. 28% share of the forest owners belong to that group with multi-purpose. And there are different type of interests. They can be related to nature products, recreation, hunting, nature conservation, constant growing, etc. And also the services could relate more to these different interests that forest owners have. At the moment, the services are quite traditional, but maybe there is possibilities for more tailored services. And then one gap is what we have identified here in Forest Center, that we need more entrepreneurs to implement forest nature management projects, and this could be an opportunity for some of those companies that they specialize in these forest nature management things and to implementing these projects. So there are some drivers and gaps, and then maybe some words later about the future.
Thank you, Jussi. And then now Elias will have a cool question too.
Just a quick question, Jussi. Thank you for your presentation or your thoughts. You said that the market is quite static, but that you see that there are new enterprises entering. What is your experience of? So where are they entering, and to what segments of the market are they entering, and are they sort of sustainable in the terms of that? Are they sort of lasting, or is it sort of What is your thoughts there, or what are you seeing in the Finnish context?
Well, there are a couple of hundreds companies every year that enter the market according to, I don't know the English name, but we are Suomen asiakastieto is the source where we get the information of the new companies, and then we can contact them. Some of them, or most of them, are micro companies, meaning 1 to 2 persons, and micro scale, as all the forest service, almost over 90% of all the companies are these micros. So they are really, really small ones. And well, as it often happens, some of them die young, and some then go on and find the market gap, or where they have possibilities to survive. But I think that they are still quite traditional ones, these foresters offering silvicultural services. Then some are more specialized in let's say they can use the opportunities that digitalization offers, and maybe these targeted services for different types of forest owners. But in a big picture, they are still quite traditional ones, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Okay, there is one question also in the chat, but I think if we can take that later, if we jump into the trying to see the future horizon of development. So Satu, would you like to start and reflect this question first?
Sure. Yeah. Future needs. First of all, I think even better services for the long distance forest owners. I think when I talked about the digitalization, that we have come quite far with offering services even for those who don't live near our offices, who live in southern Sweden. I've done a heat map of our new members, and I can see that most of the new members we get, they live in Stockholm, Malmö, and Göteborg. So we don't have offices there, but we do need to offer services even for them. So even more development in that area. And there, I'm thinking maybe related to this last point that I have real-time data from forest, that offering more or quicker access to material. I'm thinking if if we do some kind of forestry measures in the forest, so we can kind of almost in no time send information, how does it look like and what have we done and so forth. I think there's still a little bit of a lacking in that respect. Better and quicker access to the data. The second point I had that forest. Can you still go back to the previous slide? That forest owners, that they're not a homogeneous group. We have talked about that quite a lot here, that we need services that are tailored for different needs, and even that different communication channels are preferred by different kinds of forest owners. So we cannot really focus on just one type of service and using one type of communication channel. And I think there I can see a lot of mismatch in when it comes to different generations communicating. That some advisors, they want to call the forest owners and offer the services, and whereas the forest owner may really not like that somebody calls them. They want to get emails or something by mail instead. So it's a fine line in finding the right way of communicating, and kind of adjusting to what the forest owner prefers, and not forcing them to communicate via the channel that I, as a forest advisor, think that is the best way to communicate. And the simplicity, services under one roof, or a packaged services. It may be a little bit of a utopia, but I think there's more and more need for getting services from one place, instead of buying service from here and there. Now you can go to the next slide. Thank you. Some challenges that I see. Digital services that are almost forgotten in the cloud. Different organizations have all kinds of my pages that you log in to see your information, and where all the important documents are gathered. I think there's a risk that these services are forgotten. People don't use them if they're not. Especially if they don't have a lot of activities happening in the forest. They may only sell wood to us every 15 years or so. So how to kind of keep or remind people that there is this digital service that you can access easily, where all your information is available. personal yet digital. That's a challenge, definitely, but I don't see it as a huge barrier, but it's not just something to keep in mind. And I think Jussi talked about this point on his slide, a need for expert services. I'm thinking of like water management and restoration, or new management methods like for continuous cover forestry. That there's a need for these kind of services, but yet that expert would need to have an understanding of all the forest functions, of the ecological functions and of the economical functions, and what does the latest research tell about these things. So that's quite a challenge for the forest advisors to keep themselves up to date, and even if they don't necessarily need to know all these things, but they would need to know who the forest owner can contact if they have a need for that kind of services. But at the same time, I see that as an opportunity too, that there are a need for kind of maybe new kinds of services that we forest owner cooperatives haven't maybe focused so much in the past.
Thank you. If we jump to the Finnish side, who wants to start? Mikko, maybe.
Yes, thank you. Again, I agree a lot with Satu, what Satu said. I think the personal services, personal relationship to forest professional is very, very important in the future. To provide the forest owner the right information and the knowledge, kind of to establish a long-term relationship with the forest owner. I think that's the key issue, and what Pauliina earlier said, that to help the forest owner to gain acknowledgement and being comfortable with the forest. I think that's one of the important things in the future, when we see that the forest owners don't necessarily live at the same place where they own the forest, and like Satu said, that the digital services have to be very good to be able to service the forest owners. I think there's a lot to do still. We do have services, but we don't necessarily have the skills to market those services to forest owners, and the forest owners don't necessarily find themselves comfortable with these services. And well, in other words, I think the markets are a little bit clumsy at the moment. The providers and the customers don't always find each other's, and like Satu said, forest owners want to have their services from the same place, and at the moment, I'm not sure if they feel that way, that they can find the services at the same place. There are different kind of needs, and that's a challenge at the moment. And also what Satu said, that the advisors have to be very, very up to date with their skills, and they know how to be able to service the forest owners, because there might be very different kind of needs that the forest owners have. Yes, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Mikko. What about you?
Okay, couple of thoughts I have about the future. Well, I would, if wood demand, I would say when. It seems obvious that wood demand and fellings will stay at high rate, and when we know that the services at the moment, they are more or less related to fellings and silvicultural work in forests, so this will this means that there is a growing need and also business opportunities for forest service entrepreneurs. But as I mentioned earlier, these are small companies, size are small, and they are these micro scale companies mostly. So networking with others gives entrepreneurs possibilities to complement and widen the services that they offer to forest owners, because you are good at in one thing, but maybe not in another one. So you need colleagues and network to where you can, as I guess Satu said, that packaged services. So this can be done through networking with others. And also, in addition to forest owners, customers can be more often other companies too. That you serve other companies, you offer services that through this network that other companies can then buy. And some new idea or business possibilities can be found. For example, as said here earlier, that custom services targeted for different forest owner segments, which can be the new ones, the age ones, distance forest owners, nature conservation oriented, recreation oriented, etc. They all have different needs and ambitions related to forests. Also, we have a couple of projects related to nature products, and we have found out that there is a lack of actors in nature product value chains, that sourcing of raw materials, meaning gathering them, delivering them, coordinating the value chain, like bird sap, resin, chaga mushroom. I just met a company that wants to cultivate chaga mushroom in forests, and they make a contract with the forest owners, and then they buy the chaga mushroom, let's say in 10 years back, and different kind of business models here. Also, possibilities for business can be found in ecosystem services, carbon and climate related services like consulting, planning, implementing. And then, as mentioned, these digital services or utilization of these, what digitalization offers, kind of GIS services and so on. And then challenges, well, low profitability is, I guess, one of the biggest challenge. The company size should be bigger, and the company's possibilities to grow, I put on answer mark there, that do they have possibilities to grow when they are so small? So how could they grow, and what kind of resources they need to grow? And what is the forest owners and other clients the willingness to pay for the services, that how you price your services to get enough money to survive. Also, one challenge can be the labor market, that do you find skilled labor? And also, if as we talked earlier here, that the market is still quite traditional and quite centralized, and if it remains so, the bigger actors, they control and maybe take over the markets, and then there is no place for the smaller companies to make business. And then I don't know if this is true or not, but I put it here that common attitude atmosphere towards forest utilization, that there is a lot of discussion around the forests, that like here in Finland, that this morning I listened to TV news and there were discussion about the fellings. Are they at the too high rate at the moment or not? Well, the answer is depends who you are asking. So is this a threat or a possibility? That if you can adapt to the situation and you can market your services, that this is not a threat to the forest or the biodiversity. So then you can get a competitive advantage of that. So these some ideas.
Thank you, Jussi. We just got 5 minutes more for this panel. So there are a couple of questions in the chat. I think they are more or less around the same question, that this relationship between advisor and forest owner is very important, as you all said, and it's important to create the trust between in this relationship, and also the Gun asks that how much we are like focusing on the forests and as a resource, and how much we are in these services focusing on the understanding the forest owner and trying to give the best service for him or her. And then there is also other question from Anne, that when this relationship becomes so critical, is it some kind of risk for company when the people leaves, he or she will take also the customers with him or her? So what do you think about this? The importance of this trustful relationship, and how is it also some kind of risk for service companies, that it comes so personal?
I think a short answer, yes, it is a risk. I think the only way to I mean, you need to take care of your employees, that they don't leave. I think that's the only way of tackling it. But yeah, of course it is a risk. But it happens to all of the service providers in the market. So I think no one is alone in that person.
Yes, and maybe like some kind of like a follow-up idea. What you also said, that this, when the forest owners are becoming very heterogeneous and also value diverse group. So the question that within an service organization are like some advisors more specialized to some values, or some kind of like a forest owners, or is it really, and also it relates to this competence question, that it's like a realistic that all advisors are like can like to handle the whole ownership like groups and I think that this probably happens already or does it that some advisors are when you get the idea that this forest owner is valuing especially much this kind of things, so you should take him or her.
Yeah, I think it happens probably naturally. I don't think in our organization we don't have like a specific roles for the forest advisors, but I think it probably happens naturally. So that they may take an expert role in some specific aspect.
And I would say on the behalf of Forest Center that we are kind of a public actor, so we don't do any business. So our role is a bit different. Maybe we try to create opportunities for those actors that are in the market, the entrepreneurs and also we try to activate those forest owners that maybe are not so active in managing their forests. So that is our role. So we don't compete at the market. Yeah.
The final comment to Mikko. Then we take a 10 minutes break and continue with the other panelists.
Yeah, yes. I think as a forest owners associations, I think the advisors always have to put themselves in the shoes of the forest owner and bring out all the possibilities objectively, and of course there might be emphasis on different things. The advisor might have influence on the opinion, but I think that's the most important to bring out all the possibilities and not to take any side, but let the forest owner decide, be the one that take the who does the decision, but just let the forest owner know the possibilities.
Exactly. Thank you, Satu, Mikko, and Jussi, very much for your thoughts and reflections to the questions.